Welcome all. Hi, this is Robin from WeGotGuru. Today's instruction is all about introduction to guitar. What we are going to understand is the types of guitar and what they can do and the parts of the guitar. Before we go forward, understanding chords and scales and progressions. So today we're going to talk about guitar as a whole. This what I'm holding here is a classical guitar. And there are three types of guitar, okay, as introduction goes to first the classical. So the guitar is dated back to 700 CE, okay, but became well versed in the 17th century. It's the 1700s. So the guitar that I'm holding is a design that has been held for more than 300 years. So this is also considered to be one of the oldest and one of the oldest models and one of the oldest designs to be kept in a guitar. There are three types of guitar as I mentioned. Today I'm going to introduce one. This is the classical, and now I'm going to introduce the modern guitar, which is the acoustic. So this is our steel string guitar, where you can bend and use it for some melodic rock or blues. And this, my friend, is the electric guitar. So we're going to talk about the parts of the guitar and what they do. Each guitar has its own specifications, and they have their own sound. Sometimes they do have their own flavor. Depends on the maker how they make the guitar. And we will usually go ahead when you buy a guitar. When you buy a guitar, you have to take someone who's experienced in playing, or you can go ahead and watch videos like this just to understand what it is that you need to expect in a guitar. The first thing is you need to understand each part should be in its proper position. So I'm going to mention the parts of each guitar. So most guitars have a similar shape, okay, except the classical guitar. Most guitars have a similar shape. You see this and this, they do have a fretboard, they do have a neck, they have tuning pegs, tuning keys. If you see this, it has the same. Even the electric guitar has the same. But if you see, they have two different ways of sound. Yeah. So the acoustic guitar. Let's go ahead and break down the acoustic guitar. So the first thing that I want to concentrate is the top of the guitar. This is called the head. Okay, this particular part is called the head, and the head holds the tuning keys. They are mounted on the head, okay, and these are called the tuning keys, and this is held on to a nut. The strings are held on to a nut. So the entire thing, this entire thing is called a neck, okay, but many people get confused with the neck and a fretboard. They usually say, okay, the neck is the fretboard, which is not, okay. The fretboard can be removed from the neck and placed back, okay. If you have experienced luthier, you will explain how to go about doing that. So let's go ahead and understand the parts. The first is very basic, the body. This is called the body, okay, and or the other term is the sound box, okay, the entire thing. In the sound box, you do have, when you go inside, look into the guitar, there are certain designs made so that the sound can travel in and come out. Okay, so this basically go ahead and helps the sound to amplify. Okay, depends on how the guitar maker does it. Some guitar makers have a very great technique of doing it, but some guitar makers, like commercial makers, don't really care. They just want the guitar to be up and running. This is a Yamaha, so these guys know what they're doing. The other thing is, sometimes the body shape is totally different. Sometimes you don't have the cut where you can reach to your 22nd fret or to the 21st fret. Sometimes it's just like in a classical guitar where you have where you don't have the cut. Okay. So that's something that if you're buying a guitar, if you're playing solo, I prefer having this cut so that I can go further on the guitar. So that's one. And we will go ahead and talk about the few different parts in the body. This is a bridge, and these are the pegs that hold the strings into the guitar. Okay, the way it holds is it has a knob and it has a depression in it, and that basically holds the string. So when you're changing the strings, you would be able to see it. So these are string pegs to basically hold the string in the guitar. The second thing is itself the bridge. Okay, the bridge has 3 or 2 parts. So the white thing that you see is also the one that holds the strings in equivalent distance. Okay, this is also a crucial thing. The other thing is the scratch pad. So when you use a pick or you use your nail, what people tend to do is when they strum, they basically go and hit the guitar, and their pick slides off on the polish. So this scratch card is usually seen in the acoustic guitars, but if you observe the classical, you don't. There are no scratch cards because classical guitars usually have a different way of playing. They do have scratches sometimes, it depends on the player, but the reason they don't have scratch cards is because, as I told you, it's one of the oldest model, tradition is kept. And the other is usually guitar, when they play, it's usually plucked, or if it is strummed, it's strummed very slowly. Okay, it has a lot of variations of playing. So these two guitars may sound or look equally same, but they sound different, and the way they work is totally different. Okay, so this is for classical players, and this is for people who like to play rock, pop, anything that you want. So as I told you, the scratch card basically prevents you from getting scratches on your guitar. Okay, now let's talk about the neck and the fretboard. The neck and the fretboard have if you look at them very closely, they're 2 different wood, right? The wood is separated and the fretboard is attached on top of it with the frets. Okay, these lines that you see are called the frets. So as you see, the fretboards divide the tone. The more higher you go, the frets become smaller and the pitch of the sound becomes higher. Okay, now these are the frets, that the lines that you see, and the fretboard, and this behind is the neck. Now there are certain signatures, the dots that you see basically indicates, these are indicators. Okay, they indicate which fret you are on. So if you see here, the 3rd fret does not have a dot, usually does have a dot. But if you see, you have the 5th, the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, the 9th, 12th. So these are the signature indicators that indicate you are playing on that particular fret. If you observe this white dash here, or a white block, this is called the nut. Okay, it basically holds the strings aligned with the fretboard, and it helps you keep it in align with the tuners. Okay, so now let's go ahead and understand what a guitar and its parts are. We will go ahead, and if you see in the video, we will surely go ahead and show you the image of what the guitar parts are. That's one of them. And also we will give you a link where you can read more about guitar history and understand how long the instrument has existed on this planet, and its evolution as an instrument. So you do have millions of guitar makers now making different styles of guitar. You have a 6-string guitar. Actually, 6-string was just introduced in the 19th century. Before the 17th century, there were 5-string guitars. Before that, there were chordophones. Chordophones are something similar to a guitar, but they sound totally different. Okay, they're not nowhere close to a guitar. So a chordophone is just like any other string instrument. So it basically helps. They were played in orchestras. They were played in wedding banquets, and it was an instrument of choice sometimes. So for some people. Now We will go back and understand the parts of the guitar again. So this is an acoustic guitar, steel string guitar. This is the body of the guitar. Okay, this is the bridge, which has the string pegs. This is the body again. Okay, a sound box, or they call it the sound box. This is a sound hole. This is a scratch guard. Okay, and these are called frets. The lines are called frets, and this is called the neck. Okay, you have the nut. You have the tuning keys. Okay, for more information, you can just go ahead and look at the description. We have more information on this. So meet you next week again for more about the guitar, and we will learn how to tune the guitar and in what frequency. Thank you for watching. Please click the link below, subscribe, and please press the bell icon for immediate response from our side. So have a nice day and meet you next week.